this is great, you know. If you want to be a hero, if you want to be courageous, learn to be a happy friar. So, you know, it always sounds very, very appealing when we talk about it in the courses. Then people come and tell me their stories, and they tell, you know, I really tried. I really tried, but then I just didn't want to look stupid in front of other people. So,
but as a nation, the Tibetan, if they wanted to be happy friars, so China abused them. Like, you can be a happy friar with somebody else, so you go away or whatever. But as a nation, it's more complicated.
Well, excuse me. First, we learn like on our basis where we are, and then we go into nations. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, again,
Yeah.
you're not becoming stupid. So, you know, like this whole thing about wearing masks, like we also have people here who are totally against it. They say the virus is nothing and this is crazy. They just want to control us, blah, blah. So I said, look, I have no idea whether it's true or not. And quite honestly, I don't care. Somehow I trust my government. So what's the big deal if I wear a mask when I go outside? No, but then because my government is telling me to wear a mask, so I'll wear a mask. But if my government is telling me that I have to go out and kill people, then I would say, no, I'm not doing this. Yeah, so, you know, you can't put everything in the same pot.
No, exactly.
Like every situation is different. So you have, this is why we need to, when you talk about awareness, Nahum, this is why we have to check, okay, what do I do now? But whatever we do it with love and we do it with compassion, because what you're saying now, again, comes from the idea being a friar means you let everybody do what they want to do. But that's not the case. You know, if you can do something about it, you do, but not with aggression and not with, and not with hate and not with violence. Yeah.
Yeah, but the percentage of people who are aware, the percentage of people who are aware in a nation, I guess it's never above 1, 2, 5%. So no nation can be in awareness, the leaders.
No, it's individual. We all have to do it by ourselves. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if we wait until everybody else is doing it, well, then we can wait a long time. You know, and when you say Tibet and China and the friar, I mean, look at China. We will be the friar whether we want or not. So we might as well be the kind of, you know, to be flexible and to just say, okay, they're stronger. What can we do? I mean, we can get angry, but they will still be stronger than we are. I mean, this is all these big nations is like, what are you going to do? Yeah, as His Holiness says, you know, we tried to stand up against the Chinese, but then so many people would have gotten killed. Even more people would have gotten killed. How can you kind of win over the Chinese army? And then he also said, how can we have weapons in Tibet? You know, like there's 2 entrances, and these entrances are very small. So what shall we fight against the Chinese army? With the hands? So again, you know, you have to be reasonable, but it seems as if it's not just, you know, this attitude, I have to fight. You only also have to see, does it make sense? Is it possible?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then not to feel stupid, and then to feel intelligent, to give in when there's no point of fighting. This is it. Yeah. Okay. So let's do some meditation here.
Can I just show a book that I'm reading now?
Sure. Who are you?
I'm Shelley.
Shelley, okay.
And there's a book. I don't know whether you can see, just a minute. It's in Hebrew, but it's translated. Let me see if I can show you, connected to things that we talked before. This is the name in Hebrew.
Okay.
החיים אבדות הכרחיות, ויתורים גורליים. It was published in 1988 by a woman named Judith Viors. She's American, a psychologist. And the name in English is Necessary Losses.
Okay.
And it's a very, very, very interesting, and it's connected a lot to central Buddhist ideas.
Yeah. So
The idea of losses and the meaning of losses in many levels in life, in the micro and in family and more collective and national. It's a wonderful book.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, see, due to impermanence, we're losing constantly things. It's like we're constantly grieving in a way. Every time we're attached to something, whether we want or not, it goes. And I think it's Jack Cornfield who says, you know, when you are, grief is like when you're holding on to a rope, but then, you know, you're kind of falling down, but you're not letting go. And then you get these rope burns. Because you held on to it. This is a very good example because we want things to last that can't last, whether we want to or not. This is why we suffer. So this was the first teaching of the Buddha, that we don't understand impermanence. We don't see it as something natural. And therefore, you know, and if we don't understand it, that losing is something natural, then we suffer. Yeah.
And it starts, the book starts with mother and child love. And all the dilemma of that we're losing without all the complexes that you were telling, even in the normal life, we lose the love of our mothers.
Every day we have to give up things, you know, because of impermanence. Okay, great. Thank you, Shelley. So
Thank you.
Maybe somebody.
And Sukkot, I think it's a wonderful holiday to show the idea of losing. The idea of Sukkot is not the permanent house. And I think that it also has not only Jewish idea behind it, it's very Buddhist idea that everything is not permanent. And nothing can be permanent and can't last forever.
No, otherwise it wouldn't be able to exist if it would.
Exactly. Okay, so I stopped my speech.
So try to settle down with a straight back. And kind of, again, you know, Leora said the other day, when she sits down to meditate, then she takes 3 deep breaths and breathes out through the mouth and just goes, oh. And you think all your tensions, all your anxiety, even all your excitement, because excitement also, too happy in the meditation is also not so good. Because then the mind turns. What with your, try to find your own thoughts so that you can relax. For example, open up. By breathing in, you could think, I'm open to whatever wants to come. By breathing out, as we're going into love, you can think, whatever good I have, I will share it with others. It's very simple, and it kind of strengthens your courage to face whatever wants to come, whether it be gain or loss, or fame or criticism, pain or pleasure. Luckily, all of it is impermanent. What you can also do, you can think that you're breathing with your whole body. That also gives you some space. I think space is the key word for relaxation. There is space. We have time. We have space. No need to hurry. Nothing to do. Nothing to figure out. Not even anything to understand. Just to allow things to happen. Allowing also is a good word to relax. You choose to allow everything to be there that wants to be there with awareness. A tight mind, an open mind, a happy mind, an unhappy mind. As Shelley says, is all impermanent. Everything changes all the time. And we cannot go against that nature. But we try to, and this is why we suffer. So you don't need to produce a happy or relaxed feeling. Just observe what is there. The mind will start to relax. And again, when we reflect or when we meditate, to know the purpose of it. It's not to be calm. It's not to be happy. This is a side effect. It's to know. It's to experience. To experience what brings happiness. To experience what brings suffering. Simple as that. So enjoy that for the next few minutes you have nothing to do, nothing to figure out. Just if you want to watch your breath or to be aware of your sensations in the body, or just to know that the body is sitting is enough. Whenever you feel nervousness or tension arise, give it space. Allow it to be there. Don't chase it away. It's part of us. It belongs. Just watch it. Be with it as you would be with a child who is suffering, who has a cold, who has a fever. But also notice maybe spaciousness is there, happiness is there, well-being is there. So same way, you just hold it. You're just aware of it without interfering, allowing it to be there. And if you want, you can anchor your kind of mind or your awareness on your breath by knowing that you're breathing in when you're breathing in, and by knowing that you're breathing out when you're breathing out. And knowing it directly, not knowing about the breath, to be there fully, 100%. Not too tight, but also not too loose. Okay, so let's just look again what love is before we start to engage by allowing the feeling of love to arise. So the near enemy, or what we sometimes think love is attachment, which masquerades as love. Love allows, honors, and appreciates. Attachment grasps, demands, and aims, and it wants to possess. Attachment excludes, love includes all. Love is the powerful tool to transform any situation and problem. True love is unconquerable and irresistible. Whatever the question, love is the answer. Hatred never ceases true hatred. Hatred can only cease true love. So then, when one trains in loving kindness, one usually starts with oneself. But as I said, so many beings have a problem with this, that they almost don't dare to think, may I be happy, may I be well. So it's just a wish, okay? Then when we train this, it's that sensation in the heart, it's a wish. So sometimes it's easier when you take somebody else. So you take somebody that you're not totally attached to, but you truly, really love that person. You don't want to possess the person. Just thinking about the person makes you happy, even the person is miles away and you haven't had contact with that person like for a week or a month or even longer. So connect with your heart. Come from your head to your heart. How do you feel? Just be aware of the sensation. That's love. If you want, you can give it words, color, a taste, a smell, a touch. Don't call it good or bad. Just be with it. So then the wish for this person to be happy comes very naturally. And there's a lot of energy and a lot of interest in there when you think, may you be happy, may you be well, may you be safe and free from fear. You can repeat the words and look if something changes in your sensation. May you be happy, may you be well, may you be free from fear and anxiety. May you be peaceful. May you find what you're looking for. So try to see the interest, the energy, the easiness with which that thought comes and how authentic that wish is. No need to fabricate anything. It's just there. Okay, so then maybe now that the heart is open, we can take ourselves. And you think a bit about your life and you see how difficult it is. As the Buddha says, life is in the nature of suffering. There's so much dissatisfaction. There is so much struggle. And as we just said before, there's also impermanence. No matter how much we struggle, the things slip through our fingers, whether we want or not, and finally we have to die. It's difficult. The responsibility if you're parents, if you have children, being able to sustain a living, being somebody in society, knowing how to make the right decisions. Try to honor the fact. Life is difficult. But until now, looks like we coped quite well. It's okay, we're not perfect. Probably we would be horrible people if we would be perfect with our arrogance. So try to generate that same sensation for yourself that you had for the person before. It might be difficult. So again, don't manipulate anything. Don't get frustrated. Don't push. Be gentle, be tender, be soft and patient. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be loving and peaceful. Just a thought. No need to manipulate anything. May I be well, happy, loving, and peaceful. And give yourself the permission to be loved, the permission to be happy, the permission to love. And just connect with that thought. I am a good person. Without any ifs, without any buts. You don't need to prove it. Dare to think the thought, I am a good person. And connect with that feeling. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be loving and peaceful. Relax into these thoughts. If there's resistance, relax into the resistance. Give it space, it's okay. If there's fear, relax into the fear, give it space. It's okay. Allow it to be there. May I be happy, loving, well, and peaceful. Okay, now we take somebody that we have called stranger in the previous session, somebody that you just know, maybe their face, maybe their name, but the heart is pretty remote. You're not really interested in that person. So the same way, that person is just like me. I don't know him or her, but they're undergoing the same struggle. They're grieving the same way when they lose something that they're attached to. They're facing the same problems that come from confusion, not really knowing what brings happiness, not really knowing what brings suffering, or maybe knowing but not being able to withstand our tendencies and habits and wrong views. So same way, you look at the person as if you would be looking at your friend, because that friend that you had such friendly feelings for before, at one point was a total stranger. So that person now that you call a stranger can also become a friend. And a friend, it becomes a friend when you have friendly feelings towards the person, not when they change. So you sent them these wonderful wishes. May you be happy. May you be well, loving, and peaceful, free from fear and anxiety. Just keep repeating the sentence. Don't manipulate anything. Allow the heart to open by recognizing the sameness, like the shared or common humanity that we have with all human beings. So don't expect too much if you do that for the first time. Main thing is that you know the method, and from time to time you sit down, and when you feel that your heart is as cold as a fish, you try to open it with these thoughts. You look at somebody, maybe sitting opposite you in the bus, on the train, when you can take buses and trains again, or your neighbor when you hear the person making noise. So instead of getting upset, you send loving thoughts, not for the person to stop making noise, but for your ego to stop making noise. So this is how we train in daily life. So now for the last person, you take somebody that gets slightly on your nerves, somebody that you reject, and look at the feeling in your heart. What do you prefer? So easy to recognize, isn't it? We are hurting ourselves walking around with this closed heart. Sometimes you're able to keep people away from you that get on your nerves. Sometimes we're not. And we can put borders. This is true. But borders and walls, they can be kind of, you can climb over them. A much better protection is an open heart. Because then you are well. And then they don't get on your nerves anymore, because with love, there's also wisdom and understanding, or as Nachum was saying, awareness. We start to understand that they suffer. So why getting angry at them on top of it? So cruel. So think about this person and just send them these thoughts. Don't manipulate anything, just the thoughts. You are just like me, confused as I am, suffering as I am, being frustrated, stressed, not content with what's going on in the world. So may you be happy. May you be well. May you be loving and peaceful. So here, don't push, because it's difficult to do with these people, because we think they don't deserve to be happy. We think that by being happy, they just keep hurting others. That's not true. Somebody who is happy and well does not hurt, does not steal, does not kill, does not lie, and does not cheat. It's the same for us. We do these things when we're not well. So why be angry at those people? Anger is not a protection. Anger opens the door to more suffering and more unhappiness. So just introduce the mind to these thoughts. Do not manipulate anything. Do not push. Again, think about the person. You also, you deserve to be happy. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be loving and peaceful. Okay. Then we really open up the mind and the heart. And we think, oh my gosh, so many beings are suffering in this world. What am I going to do as individual? Totally overwhelmed. So then, in the space in front of you appears Green Tara. If you don't know how she looks, it's a bit far away. You can open up, if you put just me on your screen, and you can see the Green Tara sitting there with the white scarf just behind me, and the 21 Taras around her. But it's not a statue, okay? It's a female Buddha, a female, totally developed mind of love, compassion, and wisdom. And it's the activity, because that's why she's green. It is the activity of a fully awakened mind, ready to act. So she's floating in space before us. And what a Buddha does, they're sending out healing, supporting light rays. And as we chant the mantra, you visualize that these green light rays are going to each and every sentient being, to your friend, to the stranger, to the one who gets on your nerves, and to everybody else. You can take individuals, or you can take the global community, whatever you want, whatever is in your capacity. And we start to recognize and to admit everybody has the potential to be happy. Everybody has the potential to be good. So while these light rays are touching these beings, they are getting they can eliminate their obstacles, their hindrances, to have access to their potential of kindness, love, compassion, and wisdom. Nom tare tu re soha. Om 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 tare tu re soha. Then you can imagine from these light rays, each of these many light rays that turn into a small green tara, and they go out in all the directions, to the south, to the north, to the east, to the west, above and below. And they absorb into each and every living being in order to nurture and bring to fruition their own goodness, their own love, and their own wisdom. Okay, well, thank you very much. Did you see the picture of the green tara? Because I never know whether you see it or not. Yes,
we did.
okay, great, thank you. If you don't
Thank
see
you.
it, then it's good. Then it's good if you protest. So from my side, I kind of finished for today. Tomorrow we do compassion and joy. Now, but if you have questions, you are very welcome to ask. Oh yeah, Laura, I'm sorry. We said that people who don't want to chant the mantra, then they can leave. I forgot. There we go. But I think it doesn't hurt. You know, I mean, if you feel great resistance to this, then just check, well, what is the harm if with a good heart, because otherwise, what am I going to do? I mean, what am I going to do to help the world? At least this I can do. I can sit down with a good heart and chant some mantras and check, what is this resistance? Of course, if you are if you have your own religion where you believe in a creator God, then and you're frightened that this creator god might get angry or upset because you're chanting the Tara mantra, then you shouldn't do it, because then also it's not helpful. But anyway, I don't want to force anybody to do these things, but I did a little bit because I just included it in the meditation.
It was good.
It kind of came spontaneously because I thought, well, since we're having all sentient beings there, and then we might as well send out the line. But you can do this whole practice of the Green Tara with Leora Price, who is a wonderful meditation leader, every, Thursday?
Tuesday.
Thursday morning or evening, or when?
Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the evening.
Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the evening. It's a really, really powerful practice once you get used to it and once there's no resistance. And in order to do these things, you do not need to become a Buddhist.
Although we take refuge. Although we take refuge as part of the sadhana, but you can do it just to check.
Yeah, you just don't say the words, or you say other words, or, you can say God, or when we took precepts, we did like this. I told people they can take, when it says I take refuge in, then they can take refuge in whatever whatever is their refuge. It's fine. I don't think the Dalai Lama would be upset if we do like this. Whatever helps, this is good. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Everybody.
Right.
Have a lovely, peaceful, loving beginning of Sukkot. Is it today?
Yes, today. In
But the
evening.
full moon was yesterday. How come it's only today?
Today.
Ask
The
God.
moon must have gotten confused.
Oh, okay.
It's different Tibetan. Different.
Because I remember usually it's
calendar.
It's a full moon.
because usually it's full moon, isn't it?
No,
Yesterday
yeah.
was the Buddhist full moon.
Full moon, yeah.
So I remember having been in Israel, and with Rachel Lev, we read the Golden Light Sutra at the eve of Sukkot. I still remember, it was very nice in Roni's house. And then I went up to the sukkah and had dinner with what's his name? With Shlomo, I think. With
It's
Dorit.
always 4 days after Yom Kippur. It's always 4 days after Yom Kippur.
Okay. Yeah, also this year, Yom Kippur was not when Lama Chöpa was. I don't know, maybe Gila noticed it. Or any other beings who do Lama, who do Lama Chöpa. So it was not, it was the day before, actually.
Again, there are slight differences between the Tibetan calendar and the Jewish calendar, although both are moon calendar, our lunar calendar. There are small differences because the Tibetan make a slight adjustment during the year, sometimes adding a day, sometimes 1 day less. So it's always almost the same, not always same.
Yeah, almost the same. Because I remember when we were in Tuval, and very often, like Lama Chöpa coincides with Yom Kippur evening, then we never know what to do. Shall we do the feast and the puja and Lama Chöpa with lots of talk and this and that, but then people are fasting. So this time it would have been easy because it was Sunday.
Huh?
Or no, even Friday actually. When was that?
It's starting Sunday.
Or Saturday, something like that. Yeah, Saturday, it was on Saturday. Okay, so have a good evening, and maybe see you tomorrow, maybe not. Anyway, I wish you a good life with lots of love and lots of compassion and lots of wisdom. And so we all become Buddhas very, very quickly.
Amen.
Okay, amen, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much.
Inshallah.
Okay, okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very, very
Thank you.
much.
Oh, you're very, very
Bye
welcome.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, I'm going.